Hello, my name is Tony Chan for TelecomTV. I'm here at the Qualcomm 4G, 5G Summit in Hong Kong. With me today is Enrico Salvatori, who's the president of Qualcomm for EMEA. Enrico, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
At the conference today, I think we had something like 8 operators come out and talk about their 5G strategy. Why do you think they're here in sharing their 5G experience?
5G is a major innovation step in technology for the ecosystem, for the operators, for the infrastructure vendors, for us working on the device side, for Qualcomm. So the excitement for all of us is about introducing the new technology and the benefit of the new technology to the users. So the operators are here to present their plan, to understand where we are as a technology vendor on the handset infrastructure vendors. We had also on the stage today Ericsson talking about their plan, and to share with us where they are in developing and implementing the network and the services. And also they're here because they want to listen when the device will be ready. That is our job. We are happy.
So for Qualcomm, I mean, obviously there's a lot of emphasis on 5G. Why do you think it's so important for the telecoms industry?
5G is important for the users because it will bring more data rate, capacity, low latency, introducing new service application like mission critical, but is very important also because 5G has been designed to connect objects, things. So we also here are presenting some of those implementations like automotive, so you can have the cellular communication vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to network, vehicle to infrastructure that will improve safety in the cars, so reducing the level of accident, and this is also indirectly benefit for all of us, but is also connecting all the kind of objects. Automotive is just one example.
So for the actual users themselves, I mean, what can they look forward to, like from the consumer perspective and perhaps from the enterprise perspective? I mean, we hear about things like flying cars and like virtual reality, obviously. I mean, are these things going to become reality very soon?
Yeah, let's start from upgrading service and application we already have, and then we can go to new things that we are trying to predict. So in terms of upgrading what we do have with the EMBB, that is the mobile broadband, increasing capacity up to the 10 gigabit per second, obviously you can achieve performance like making available data into the cloud, and then you can access to those data from your device without storing the data in the device. So no pictures, no music, no video, because you can do real time thanks to the high data rate from the cloud. That's an improvement that will impact also the device, meaning that probably less memory will be needed in the device. And memory means reducing the bill of material of the device. This is one example, but of course it's also real time because of the low latency. So applications that are requesting low latency like e-health, so having access from remote to robots that you can control, having the same reaction, the same time of the command. So that is another major improvement. Mission critical services, so like disaster recovery, you can access drones or machines, something like the Avatar movie. You can control from remote the machine with the perception of what will be done. So there are applications from one side, starting from the classic smartphone improvement in terms of performance, to introducing new service and application. We mentioned some. We can add also the VR, AR, so XR. Today we saw a quite intriguing and interesting presentation from NextVR, so that you can improve the immense immersive experience from a sport event with a content like if you are really present, thanks to this high capacity, low latency performance of the network.
I know Qualcomm is known for being very technically advanced compared to the rest of the industry, and also to accelerate the adoption and evolution of industry. You know, can you talk a little bit about what Qualcomm is actually doing to help accelerate the industry towards 5G? Things like spectrum, for example, things like reference designs.
Well, Qualcomm is a company that is delivering technology. So our DNA is about innovation in technology. Qualcomm is doing a lot now on 5G, but it did even more in preparing 5G because we have been part of the 3GPP standard specs definition. We have been a part of the acceleration of the specs because the original plan for 5G was to have a deployment in 2020, 2021, while now we achieved with the industry, with the ecosystem, first half 19, that the device will be ready, infrastructure will be ready, operators and spectrum. So the specs has been finalized in December 17. Then we move from that the specs to the product. So implementing miniaturization in the board first, in the reference design, into the chipset in the product that is now available in engineering sample, but will be available in commercial quality to our customer by the end of the year, so that they can deliver the smartphone by first quarter, second quarter 2019.
What about beyond the device itself with the operators themselves? I know you have many, many partners who are operators, not just the people making the smartphones. What are you doing to help them actually on their journey? Because they have to navigate all the different versions, different kind of network deployment scenarios, spectrum management and all that. I know Qualcomm does a lot in that area, but you don't publicize it too much.
Well, in order to be part of the standards and specs that I was describing, the standardization, we have engineering not only at level of the device, the product, but also system level. So we can work with operator, and we work with them, talking about feature set for the device, but also in terms of frequency band, what is the configuration of the network. Millimeter wave is a big news coming with the 5G, sub-6, the 3.4, 3.7, so that they can work in trying to predict performance, propagation, working with them about the impact on the network configuration. Of course, we are not a network infrastructure vendor, but our system level engineering is in a position to provide support to the operators in sizing and predicting what is the configuration of the network, and working with them to optimize the configuration of the network. In particular, at the moment, there is a lot of discussion, collaboration about having at the same time the sub-6 and the millimeter wave deployment, because really 5G has been designed to use both sub-6 and millimeter wave frequency band. So you want to have the full capacity, the full power, the full performance of the 5G in your network. This is what we are, example, discussing with the operators, supporting them during the trial, supporting them during the testing. And specifically now, we are in the middle also of what we call the IoT, interoperability testing, so that we go in the lab with the infrastructure vendor partner, and the operator is testing the prototypes, our reference design, the MTP, and they predict, they have a sense of the performance, so that they can start creating services, application, tariff plan related to the new 5G devices coming.
With your conversations at this event with operators, what would be the one thing that you would advise them when they're thinking about 5G?
First of all, to make as soon as possible available frequency spectrum. So auction for the frequency spectrum has to be completed as soon as possible in 2018 in order to go in a commercial phase in 2019. We are operating in Europe. I'm responsible for the operation of Qualcomm in Europe. In Europe, we have countries that already completed that. Spain, Italy, UK. Other countries are still working on it, like France and Germany. So very important for the operators not to miss the train, to make sure that the frequency band will be available in order to move to the commercial phase. Then, of course, to be open mind in terms of working with the new industry players, new to the wireless ecosystem, not new in terms of industry, because 5G is really creating a foundation, an infrastructure, a precondition for connectivity that is embracing industry players that were not part of the 4G. So more and more on the automotive, more and more on the industry automation. You saw also at the show that we invited here on the stage at the keynote by Cristiano to have players that are not really from the classic traditional 3GPP wireless ecosystem. But that's the richness of this 5G technology.
Great. Thank you, Enrico. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.